Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, bringing you to Chapter 10 in my Human Revolution Give Me Deus Ex difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the level entitled White Noise, where we're going to the Pacifist communication tower, which is the center of the news, and we're going to be confronting, I think it's Eliza, I don't remember her surname, but the main newscaster, the voice and insight of all news broadcasts in this city, in this world, in this time. And it's an interesting level because the first half of it is us going through this supposedly massive news corporation, home skyscraper, and yet there's nobody here. So it's kind of eerie, it's kind of strange, and it's a foul omen. It's very ominous. So just make your way through here. You are in no trouble of being spotted or of being attested to by anybody because there is nothing to even see here. There might be a few items on the desks and a couple of computers to hack if you have the patience, but as per normal, I'm going to be pushing through as quickly as I can because that is not the main focus of this guide. And I'm going to get stuck on a windowsill there for some reason because I was trying to go through a piece of glass, but unfortunately I am not the T-1000 and it just doesn't work that way. But this level is in two parts, once again. There's a couple of two-parters in this guide, and the first video tends to be very long and the second video tends to be very short, but it's just the way I wanted to do it because 20 plus videos on YouTube with my internet connection, you just don't want to try it, man. It'd be like trying to lick lava. You're just gonna lose. But feel free to explore all the areas, see if you can pick up any crap, see if you can pick up any insight, any knowledge, all that good stuff. And we're going to be going all the way to the newsroom where the lady is. She's going to talk to you, there's going to be some revelations, and then an alarm's going to trigger, and a bunch of soldiers are going to try and come and get you. But you're not done there, because you have to stealth all the way past the soldiers and get to a certain area of the building, where unfortunately there will be a boss waiting for you. But it's all in a day's work for Adam Jensen, and he doesn't mind whatsoever because he's got metal arms, a brilliant goatee, and some fantastic sunglasses on. So let's embrace it, face it, and get things done. So there Pritchard is telling us to get the hell out of here because it's a trap, but we already knew it was a trap, and that's exactly why we came. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the cameras because I just don't like cameras. Me and cameras don't mix. And then this is when it starts being a real level. You'll notice the power starts kicking off, and the soldiers are going to be turning up. And there is a lovely stun gun there. I think it's either called the stun gun or the peps something. And I'm looking at anything I can drop so that I can pick it up because weapons sell more than ammo do. You get far more currency, and it's always better to prioritize a gun than it is to prioritize the ammo for it. Obviously, this all depends on quantity. If you've got 1,000 rounds for something, that's going to sell more than the fucking gun. But you know, it's context. It's just logical, and it's how I'm playing the game. So I pick up the stun gun. I don't use it though. It's purely for me to sell. And I see this vent, so I think, why not? When in Rome, and I get on my hands and knees and come through the vent. But this next area of the game is, I wouldn't say it's too challenging, but when I first got here I did have difficulties, so it is definitely more difficult than some of the earlier ones, but it's nothing on the area that's going to be coming up, which is the science labs, which I fucking hated. But there's two guys here having a lovely conversation. The waypoint's to your left though, so completely ignore them. He looks down there every time but carries on. That's your opportunity to move across, and then just keep going cover to cover till you get enough space, and then you can just casually crouch walk your way either down the stairs or towards this room to my left. And it looks, yeah, I kind of thought I could go that way, then I decided against it. So the only problem from transitioning levels is the AI will see you if they are close enough to look, and you never know if it's the person downstairs or the person upstairs. So to make that easier, use your cloaking device, stand up and run, because when you're running it does not drain any quicker, it does not have any kind of negative effect. The only thing it does is make you loud, and when you're invisible you can be loud as a jet engine and they will still not know where you are. The only time you can even indicate your presence is if you touch them. But right there I get a little bit unlucky because the vent makes a noise, and when I opened it, it alerted him. But the best thing is I can now creep out because I know exactly where he's going, and he'll spend a couple minutes looking for me there, not have any idea I've moved, and I can carry on. And I actually found a bit of a secret here that I didn't do my first time through, because I have the Icarus landing and I think balls to it. I do the Neo, I jump all the way down the elevator shaft, I do the fashionable landing, I get the Pathfinder bonus, and for my worries there's some credits and something else, which is probably ammo, but I can't fit it in because I haven't purchased any more inventory space, and I don't intend to, because this is not about how much shit I can carry. This guide is not for that. But keep moving through the vents, keep moving towards your waypoint. And a little tip as well, which it does tell you earlier on, just in case you don't know this, the triangle itself, which is your waypoint, if it's pointing towards the top of the box that the radar is in, that means that you need to go to the next floor above you. If it's pointing down, it means the objective is below you. And that is regardless of where it is spaced on the minimap. It's just the universal rule. But if you use that lovely placed air vent there, it will get you into this broadcast booth where there's a lot of cameras. An interesting thing to note, with all this camera equipment on these shelves, there's also sniper rifle ammo, which does not bode well for potential, news anchors. It's kind of selling the wrong ideal of, if you go into the storeroom, you get cameras, you get equipment, you get your sniper rifle ammo. It's like, what type of fucking place are they running? Just pure madness. But you come through this door here, be careful of the door, there's nobody close to it, so you know you'll not be alerting them. And this balcony is probably the most challenging area of this level for me personally, because it's the only area where I had to reload a couple times. So I'm looking across the room to give me a decent impression of what lays in front, but I'm going to be coming the top way anyway, so it's not really necessary. So if you go up to this partition, he will crouch there, do something. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably got cramp or he's got aching on his legs because he's been on a tough 10-hour shift or something. But he's working out the kinks, so you can just walk past him. And his buddy has got an interesting pattern as well. I sit against here because I think they knew I was over there. But just be careful around that area. That's why I'm using my cloak a lot, because that guy seemed to see me all the time and I didn't know why. So never trust that he's just going to walk past. Always activate your stealth and always just aim to run as quickly into that stairwell as you can, because it's just going to save your ass. But right then, I think that guy saw me cross that opening, so he's alerted, he's on high alert. I've come into this room to pick up some more shit, checking on the computers for possible passwords, so on, and just doing the general Adam Jensen thing that he was hired for. The only problem is, I'm not a very high skill when it comes to hacking, so I'm so used to being level 5 at hacking and hacking everything that when I go up to these computers I don't necessarily read that they are far better than my feeble mind can approach. But he's still alarmed. Well, they're still all alarmed because they are on high alert. And then you're introduced to this next room. And this next room looks really bad, but it is not too bad at all. So what I do is, I go up against this glass partition, he's moving away, so I move towards workstation 1. This guy comes towards you, but he stops, so that you can dive across with your cloak on to workstation 5. He is always doing his little thing, he does the same, just like that other guy, and he's crouching down, he's taking a shit. I don't know what he's doing, maybe he's on his period, but as soon as he turns away, make sure you dive onto this piece of cover, and then behind these containers. Be careful coming out of here though. If you go too far to the left, there is a big heavy with a Gatling gun and he sees you every time. There he is. Like a bloody transformer, just stood there staring out, waiting for Michael Bay to point his magic wand, and as soon as he turns away, you are free to move. The reason why I'm sitting here is I'm letting my battery recharge, because you never know when you're going to need the stealth. So I throw the stealth on, I run all the way down here, and then I get in cover behind this door, because that is a hack, and I don't know where the enemies are going to be. A word to the wise as well. If you did what I just did and alerted the big fat dude, if you try and hack it now, even though he has his back to you, he will turn around and see you. I failed on this once because he did that. He came back to his original position and he saw me. As soon as he goes back to his normal position, he will never look down this avenue. He will look straight forward and to the left. That is the only thing he's programmed to do. So, as soon as he goes back to his normal position, you can hack the door, and then you can carry on to the next section of this building. And there's a very intimidating section coming up where you have to call an elevator, and the elevator's super slow. It takes about 3 minutes or something silly for it to come. And while it comes, there I go saying more disgusting innuendo. And while it stands over the Virgin's face and showers her in celestial silk. No, and when this elevator arrives, you have to wait for it, and the enemies are on high alert. They know where you are, so a massive reinforcement wave comes and tries to find you. And you have to evade them until the elevator turns up, and then you can get on it. And it looks like you're going to either have a massive showdown and a massive firefight, or you're going to hide like a coward in a corner and pray to God that they don't find you. And originally, I was shitting myself thinking it was going to be like something off a Metal Gear Solid where they're hunting you and you don't know where they're going to come from. And it was really, really tense. And it just wasn't. Because there's a little hidey hole under the stairs and nobody knows where it is, nobody knows how to get there, and you are safe and to wait until the elevator comes, then you can turn your money shot into a potential blockbuster. No, you can turn your invisible cloak on and you can get to the next area, and it's very, very simple. Oh, and this section as well, I sat here like an idiot waiting for these silly bastards to move on, and it turns out they never do. They stand here like retards, and the best thing to do is to walk as close to them as you can, turn your cloak on, and go to that corner where I'm aiming at now. So I wait, I activate my cloak, I come all the way over here. As soon as I'm around the corner, deactivate your cloak. And what this is here is, this is a bunch of different areas where you can stock up on ammunition, and there's lockers and there's various other places to find little hiding stuff. If you've got a high skill in the hacking, you can open a few other areas that will get you a considerable amount of ammunition and maybe better weapons. I can't quite remember. I did hack them and I did find a lot of goodies, but on this run I didn't have the skill to do it. So just keep moving forward, keep doing your Deus Ex thing, keep picking up all the various garbage and trash. Even if it's just for selling purposes, it's worth picking up. And I'm going to have a drink, ladies and gentlemen, because my throat feels like a ninja came and laid a dirty shit in it. My goodness, was it dry. And it's funny because it's always a tickling sensation, so you feel like you're going to cough, and it's always horrible. But that is one of the hackable doors. It's a level 3 hack, and I do believe in there is a heavy machine gun with about 4 full boxes of ammunition, because there is a boss coming up on this level that I've mentioned, and she's not the easiest boss unless you know what you're doing. Luckily enough, I'm going to be utilising the Typhoon method once again of raping her with the animation of it. And I'm also going to say, if you haven't upgraded your Typhoon twice so that it damages robots and increases its damage, even though it doesn't say on the description that it benefits against humans, it does. So I would implore you to do it, because you will kill the bosses in half the Typhoon hits it takes normally. So 6 hits that it takes on this difficulty for the first upgrade, it will then only take 3 for the second upgrade. And so on, so forth. That is the rules of it. I did not know until I beat the game. I was absolutely fucking kicking myself because I thought my boss fights were brilliant, epic, and just masterful, and they weren't. So I felt like a bit of a bell end. But that is the hidey hole under the stairs where we're going to be hiding when we touch the elevator and it gets all the guards to come. This is a lovely ventilation shaft that would get you into this room that I didn't use. That was me scratching my ear, and this is another computer that we can hack, but I don't have the skill to do it. So I'm going to come through here, make sure that I'm all ready, and then I'm going to go sneak my way around here, activate the cloak, hit the elevator button, and then retreat all the way back into that lovely little tunnel under the elevator. So hit the button, stay in your cloak, move all the way around here, and then crack your DS open and sit for 3 minutes waiting for the elevator.
Great.
Because this could be a very challenging moment if they were flanking everywhere and tossing grenades into every hiding hole, but the AI just isn't programmed for this little exploited area that I'm in. And right then, I only got the smooth operator because you'll remember people were alerted to my presence. They did get alarmed because they thought they saw me. You only get the ghost rating if nobody even remotely glances a shadow. So I suppose you could do one step better than this guide and make a ghost guide as well as Foxiest of the Hounds, as well as no kills as on the hardest difficulty, because that would mean that you can't even get remotely glanced at, and that would make you have to really assess each situation very differently and play even more conservatively than you're seeing me play right now. Which is a shame, because I hate not killing people. Not killing people to me is just the worst thing ever, because I'm a homicidal maniac on games. That's what I like to do. And if it stops me from turning into Ted Bundy too, then why not? But I will say one thing about this game that is definitely a criticism of mine. When you shoot people, there is hardly any blood whatsoever. There's hardly any real, any response that you've just killed somebody on the game. And I know that may be a good thing because they don't want to, glamorize violence and turn it into another version of pornography. But there is something really just rewarding when you shoot a guy and you see him reel back in a parabola of shrieking blood and half his torso missing and things. It feels good. It feels visceral. It feels brutal. It feels like it should, because at the end of the day, when are you going to blow a guy in half unless you're some, psychopathic farmer who doesn't like people on his land? You just wouldn't get that opportunity. And this is not me saying, yay, we need serial killer games so we can glorify in each cut and then fuck the wound. This is me just saying I do enjoy a nice visually pleasing shotgun blast to the face. Is there really anything wrong with that? I don't think so. But just keep sitting under here, make sure that your batteries is regenerated. Pritchard just tells you when it comes back. You'll get the lovely mission objection update on your HUD, and now all you have to do is go into your cloak and go towards the elevator and press the button. And there's going to be a lot of enemies congregating near it because, it's bright and shiny and they're like moths, but as soon as you get in here and you press the button, for whatever reason they magically disappear and fuck off, and we get to go deeper into the bowels of this building. So here is Pritchard once again, and then you're treated to this lovely scenic vista of Shanghai. Oh, Montreal, sorry, we're in Montreal, we're not in Shanghai. We're in New Montreal, or Montreal 2, or wherever they want to call it. But a little bit more exposition in the form of dialogue. And I don't know about your guys, but I really thought the character of Pritchard, he's a necessary character because you always need that friction in the workplace. But I just thought his design with that poncy ponytail that's really high and looks like a top knot, I just thought he looked like a twat. I kind of imagined him being maybe a gruffer version of Otacon, or if anybody played Fear 2, there was a hacker that gave you that really powerful gun and then was really gruesomely killed by the assassins. He was what I was imagining of that kind of character, but instead we get this Paxton Fettel with a ponytail bullshit visage, which I just wasn't digging at all. Especially when he goes from being an outright arsehole to kind of caring about you and being a little bit more of a companion, a little bit more of a colleague. But once again, we are stuck on a massively long lift. I don't know what it is in the future. They can do all this fancy bullshit with the human augmenting and understanding all this technology, yet their elevators are slower than fucking turtles. It is unbelievable. This is a place that has express trains. This is the thing that has a pod that takes you to a completely different part of the world in rapid succession, yet this elevator looks as if it's got Egyptians pulling it on ropes. It's ridiculous. But this is it weird, this, because as soon as you get off the lift, if you run over here to this corner and you make a save, you will see what happens in the next video. Apparently, I've just been cut off. So, thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.